Everything is racist. Mayor Lightfoot of Chicago will only grant interviews to Black and brown reporters.
It was for her one-on-one sit-downs
for her
her 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Everything about this is bad.
Yeah.
It's just dividing us all up into groups and saying that you can only come in if you're a certain color this is something that a white supremacist would say.
Yeah.
That you would attribute to white supremacy, and now it is being passed as anti-racism.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because I have a hard time, if you just read these statements and knew nothing about the person saying them, you would think that it was a racist statement.
Yes.
Like this is something that would come out of the mouth of someone in like Jim Crow era South.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And now we're somehow slipping back there. And again, it's under progress. And again, we've said this a million times on this show. The class war, which has divided all of us up into groups and has us fighting this race war with one another so that they can just be tra-la-lying on their $500 million yachts and shit, is disgusting. Of course, all these corporations are invested in this divisive shit. Okay, so you set that line and you say, I'm going to give the interviews to the Black and brown people. How then do you determine who's more oppressed and who gets the first interview? What is that? Is there like an audition? Do you have to tell your whole story and then figure, is it who's got the saddest story gets to go first? Everything about this culture is insane. And then Tulsi came out and rightfully called her out on what is very racist language, although the definition of racism has been completely changed, and you can only be racist if you're white. And she called it out and said she actually called for her resignation, and then got piled on and trended on the internet, and everybody told her that she was racist.
Of course, but she knew she was going to take that bullet, and still. It makes me think of someone like Candace Thompson, who was on Watkins Welcome recently, and she talked about being a light-skinned Black woman and kind of the flack she gets from her own community for that. And would she need to prove her ethnicity in order to be able to be allowed to interview this woman? What the fuck is this doing to us?
It's so bad. It's all so bad. Everything is so bad. It's just, the genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah.
We're seeing... We will get to this, but we're seeing the Asian hate that was happening, for example. Asians and Jews are a good example of people who don't fit into the intersectional diagram, and they use them basically as minorities when they need them to be, and whites as when they're not convenient for the narrative. And they've never really fit, and they've always been a problem. And now you're seeing a ton of violence on American streets against Asians and Jews. Like, this is fucking insane. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. And there's no police in these cities. They're always saying it's like middle America and all these racists, and all the racists I see are in San Francisco, LA, and New York right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking bonkers. And like, people need to start calling this shit out. Not only white people can be racist. That is a destructive ideology that is having real life repercussions on our streets. What happened to Rhetoric Matters? We had no problem calling it out rightfully in Charlottesville, but now suddenly we can't say, like, what happens to fucking silence is violence and all this shit? Where are you fucking people?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me crazy. It's super upsetting, and the hypocrisy makes me so insane. And the fact that people are too afraid to speak out, like, fuck off. Now is the time to speak out. Now is the time to speak out against your freaking school system that's trying to traffic this shit in. Speak out against your business that's trying to traffic this shit in, because it's destructive, and you're seeing the real life destruction all over America. If this was an ideology that was like uplifting and uniting, why aren't we seeing that?